The Manly Seagulls and the Sydney Roosters fighting for the finals. Manly with a significant wind at their backs in the first half. Can they take advantage? Comes to Brooks. Works his typical angle. Tomčebojević winding up. Kohler on a 2-on-2. Muscles his way over. Here's the new king of try scoring here in Brookvale. The runner looking left. Jerry Evans reaching down. Out to Benjabojević. Here we go. Brooks gets it on. Ruben Garrick is knocking it down. Magnificent defence. Tedesco saves it. He had plenty of help as well. Simpkin for Cherry Evans. Another short pass. Wonderfully read. Oh, what a tackle. Sam Walker knocks that ball out.
Hooks on.
Look at these Roosters celebrating a big moment in this first half. Sunday ticket starts with the game. This game's got a little bit of feeling about it as Siwa Wong puts the ball down. It's a knock on the Roosters. So with 2 plays left, it comes to the left. Seems to be their preferred side. Oh, Tom smashed by Nwaganita-Wase. Ball comes out. Now Toya winding up. This is a great rear-guard action from the Roosters. They hang on again. Try and turn this into attack. Quick hands as it comes from Walker. Bit of room for Crichton. Early ball, Billy Smith. Tomčebojević all over him. Billy stays in. Roosters closing in. Walker rolls it in. Smith! 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 It's a try! It's the Roosters getting over. Closing in on the 40-metre line. Here's Watson. Oh yes, getting the Under Armour away. Tedesco breaks them open. Radley's on his right. Here goes Walker on the left. Gets up and goes again. Oh, this could be outrageous. The kick. Tupou takes it, but he's still 10 metres short. Oh, it goes to Crichton. This is one of the tries of the year. Unbelievable. The Roosters conjure a miracle play. Jerry Evans out to Brooks. Now for Tomčebojević. On it goes to Kohler, and Kohler doesn't get there. Brilliant defence. Nwaganita-Wase there again. Watson for Radley. Radley pushing forward and getting up and going again and up to the 10-metre line. Penalty.
Hand on ball makes him drop it. There you go. Your hand on the ball as he comes to his feet.
There's a conversation here.
Breaks down.
Yeah, he wants a high one. But Walker, not sure he can get it there. Up it goes. That's gone backwards. It's Egan Butcher, and he's over for the try.
Number 6 goes backwards and off the
It's
left.
going to be a 4-pointer. Takes a tumble into the wire, but he seems to be okay, and it's a 20-metre tap.
I thought it was going to sit in the in-goal front for him. Luke Brooks, that was a clever kick. Just beat him that last bounce over the dead ball line.
Fancy football, but Manly, what a chance. Here they go. Here's a crack.
It's away to Sutton. Now he's away, but he's got Walker in pursuit, keeping him on that sideline. The ball for Tomčebojević. Oh, he almost slides into touch. 11 away. Brooks. Waddell. Got by Walker. Not by Billy Smith. Little crash play. Look, 5 Roosters are there to make the tackle.
Tackle 4, let him go. 1 foot on the line.
Garrett to play. 2 tackles left. Cherry Evans rolls it in. Off the upright. Grounded by the Roosters. It's been a fantastic night for the Sydney Roosters. And the difference really, Sam Walker's magic.
Tough night conditions and obviously everything that played into that.
Yeah, really tough night. Yeah, look, obviously the result didn't go our way. There's plenty of effort. I think, both teams did it tough in that weather. So, unfortunately for us, we conceded 3 tries there from kicks and, the bounce of the ball sort of on those opportunities went the Roosters' way. And, we just didn't get enough field position, I think, in that, particularly that second half. Our discipline wasn't great, so we put ourselves under pressure a bit. And we were chasing points at the end. We weren't able to do it, so we did have some opportunities in that first 20-25 minutes of the first half, though, and we weren't quite able to sort of ice those opportunities. And then we were chasing the scoreboard a little bit. So, yeah, tough night, really tough.
Lehigh came off with that HIA, Tommy goes to fullback, and then Lehigh came back, but then you obviously Tommy then went back to fullback. Can you just talk us through that?
Yeah, well, we went down 20 points to 4 with, I don't know, 20 minutes to go or something like that. So we're chasing 3 tries, so we had to try something. Yeah.
Do you think you'll try that again going forward, Steve, or is it back to Lehigh at fullback full time?
No, I think about it 10 minutes after the game. So, yeah, we just need to try something. Like what we were doing, we weren't getting any field position, and we tried to get turbo on the footy and start moving the footy. But it's hard to move it in that sort of weather. So, yeah, we're just trying 3 tries behind, so we needed to chase. Yeah.
So if you touched on it earlier, you had some good ball, probably more opportunities in the red zone than they did, but just weren't able to convert. That was probably the difference.
In the first half, definitely, Adrian. Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, we did. I think Toller got held up one time over the line. Rubes got the ball over the line a second time. In a game like that, they score 3 tries, as I said, from kicks, and we get over the line 3 tries, score 1, but we don't quite ice the other 2, and that's probably the difference when you look at the scoreboard. And that second half was tough going for everyone, you know what I mean? So it was always going to be hard chasing points. So we had to be really, really good with regards to our field position second half, and we let ourselves down a bit with some penalties.
That logjam, doesn't it? There's 2 or 3 of you now trying to fight out for probably that one last spot in the game.
Yeah. It's probably been like that the last, 2 games really. After a really good couple of weeks, we had a good win away against the Storm. Worked really hard for about 50 minutes last week, but then got away from us. And tonight it was always going to be one of those sort of games, and the conditions, it was going to come down to some ounces of the footy, and unfortunately it didn't bounce our way. And we're pretty beaten up. We had 3 guys go for HIAs. We had Jazz hurt his hip badly, so we're pretty beaten up.
What was Jazz's injury? He sort of limped off and then he was carried up.
Yeah, we can't put any weight on his hip, so he felt a pop in his hip, so it doesn't sound good. Yeah.
What about the 2 boys that went off? HIAs, Jake?
Well, 3. We had 3 HIAs. Lehigh obviously passed because he come back on. Benny Trebojevic was Category 1, so he won't be available next week. And unfortunately, Jake Simpkin, he missed the back end of the game, but it was Category 2, so he should be available going well next week. But certainly Jazz and Benny Trebojevic won't be. Who's that, mate? Benny, he was, he is, but he's a bit crook,
They say 250 for Luke Brooks. That obviously there's been so much talk about what sort of bloke he is, and despite the result, it just for him to get 250, to play alongside him as well in the half.
Yeah, we're all disappointed in the result, and as teammates we're disappointed we couldn't get a good win for him on his milestone, but what will stand is the fact that he got there, and he's had to work harder than most, I'd say, when it comes to scrutiny and adversity. So I've got a lot of respect for how he's had to get to 250 games, and he's a very, very valued member of the team here at the moment. We love playing alongside Brooksy, and he brings a lot off the field as well. So yeah, it's a shame we couldn't celebrate tonight with him in style, but still, he'll look back on this and should be really proud of where he's at and the great footy he's played through 250 games.
So you've played a lot of games yourself. Have you played in conditions much worse than that?
There's a few games that come to mind when it comes to tough nights, when it comes to weather conditions, but I don't think I'll forget this one anytime soon. It was really average weather conditions, and unfortunately we didn't play well enough.
Steve, I guess the finals are still on the table, but the margin of error is looking pretty, narrow. What do you need to see from the boys in some of these really crucial games?
We just got to keep this fight up. We've shown a ton of fight. As I said, the scoreboard got away from us the last 25 minutes last weekend, but we've been fighting really hard. I don't think that'll change. We weren't quite good enough with regards to some of our execution tonight, but some of that was chasing the game. But our discipline needs to be better. We have too many leg outs, in this weather, 7 or 8 yardage penalties across the game was, and they were all in sort of the first 60 minutes too, so they just gave Roosters a leg up, and we need to be better there. So that's what I need to say. We need to be better with our discipline, but look, the guys are working really hard. We'll keep fighting, and it's still in our hands. So until that's taken away, we keep sort of bouncing in and keep fighting hard.
Shez, what are the belief levels like in that dressing room now?
Right now, obviously, we're just disappointed with the result, but there's still a fair bit of belief in that room. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to make it all calculated for us, how many we've got to win. The reality is we just need to knuckle down and get a result next weekend, but even then, that's not going to be the end of our season, I don't think. With how close it is at that bottom of the ladder, our most important game is our next game, but it is getting thin, but the belief's still there. We know that we just need to keep giving ourselves a chance, and at the moment, the last 2 weeks in particular, we haven't given ourselves a chance. The opposition's been too good for us, so we need to dust ourselves off, but there's still belief there, and I know from where I'm sitting, I'm very confident we can still get there. And it could take till the last round, but that's all you need.
Well, Robbo, how pleased are you with that performance? Particularly the defence was impressive.
Yeah, I thought, wet conditions lend itself to that, but they're quite a crafty team and they move the ball well and ask some good questions. And I felt like we dealt with the ruck defence really well and the shift defence. I felt like the balance between the two. We had to improve some things on the run, but that was what we needed.
I think with 15 minutes to it, there was only one missed tackle.
Right.
When you compare that effort across the year, is that probably one of the most spirited efforts you've seen in terms of the defence from your side? Yeah,
it was probably one of the most principled defensive efforts, but on the back of that, I feel like on our contacts, we got them back over the advantage line or the contact point quite well. So it was principle, but it was also physical. So there was some intent in that. So, and that gives you patience. That gives you time to. It was always going to be tough with the ball for both teams in those conditions, but your defence had to be on to give you that time to work around that.
Sam Walker, instrumental. What did you make of his game? I mean, to think he's only 5 games or 4 games back as well.
Yeah, I think he, that's what I said, that the defence gave him time, and then on those conditions, as soon as you get over halfway, he's going to see where the fullback is. He's going to use his kicking game. He'll pass or use his kicking game, whichever one. And his vision on that's very, very good. And he'll pull you apart on those. Thought some really good skills from Egan Butcher and Billy Smith as well. You've got to be able to finish them off in those conditions. So I thought that was, that was really key. But it was on the back of defence. I think, this guy had. I think we let the first try in, we were a bit passive, and then Teddy almost got it. He sort of came in between Rob and Mark, and then we just couldn't quite get him, and then I think he got Garrick, and then Cooler again on that, and then we got better and better and better. So, we had to prove it to ourselves that we could do it, and it was pretty impressive.
After the first game back that Sam played, I think your words were that he's got a lot to go in terms of coming back from a year out.
I don't know about that.
Well, I think those were your words at the time, but do you think we're starting to see the best of Sam Walker these last couple of weeks?
No, he's got a long way to go. He's got, in his development, Sammy's just getting started. Again, I thought, was it not on Simpkins, on the back row, I think his goal line D there, we haven't seen that from Sammy, forced error, and I think you saw all the boys rush in on him, and he had some really good movements. They ended up shifting the ball the other way, and then he will pull you apart. But the matching up of both sides of the ball, Sammy's just getting started on that. He's really clear in his mind, and then games like that will advance him really quickly.
When you say clear in his mind, as in generally, what do you mean by clear in his mind?
He knows how he wants to play the game. He's clear about what he wants to get out of himself, and he's in a rush, like every young guy is, to play their best footy, and he's just come back from a knee injury, but he's in a rush, and that's great. he's pushing himself to get the best out of himself, and we're trying to support that and guide him along that. But that was a good step forward.
Have you had too many nights like that in those sorts of conditions?
Yeah, not for a while. It was coming down sideways and the wind was pretty crazy there, but yeah, you got to play the conditions really. It was pretty scrappy. It wasn't I don't know how good of a watch that would have been for the people at home, but defensively for us, that was a big focus for us this week. Our goal line D hasn't been good enough the past month or so. So Manly can attack. Got some great attacking players, even though the conditions are pretty tough. But yeah, for us to hold our cool a lot of those times there was very pleasing.
But that keeps you in the fight, doesn't it? Like there's a real logjam there for that last spot or two in the 8, and you can't overstate the importance of that.
Yeah, and we knew that. Like people always talk about, the external, the ladder, and all of that, but it doesn't matter if you're not playing your footy. So there's that first one is you got to acknowledge how do we play our best footy. But there is also the acknowledgement that we can't slip up there if we want to have a crack in September. So, and we knew that, and so we had to try and play our footy. So we made sure we win tonight. Next week's a really important game as well against Dolphins, who are just above us. And so, yeah, we knew these next couple of games were going to be a really important for us to continue, and yeah, that'll be the challenge. We put ourselves in this position, and we've got to make sure we're playing our footy, as I said, and improving each game, but then also getting the wins we want to have a crack at the back end of the year.
James, what's the feeling like, given all that in the dressing room after a win like that?
Yeah, it's huge for us. I think our past 3-4 weeks of footy hasn't been our best at all, and we sort of addressed that this week and knew we had to get back to our footy, and the first thing is our defence. The top defensive sides are the ones that are winning the comp at the end of the year, so to get back to our defensive best, we had to put in a good performance, and we did that tonight, and we'll take a lot of confidence out of that and keep building into next week. It's another good test for us against the Dolphins, so yeah, we'll take some lessons and go up to Suncorp and give it a crack.
Nat Butcher in New South Wales Cup.
Yeah, he's redid the medial again. I think it was a cannonball, and he's done it again. I think that'll be close to season over for him, which was really disappointing. He was great this week, getting him back in and going, and he was such a key player in what we do there. He sort of plugs a lot of holes for us, and yeah, it's disappointing. So. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know some coaches are pretty vocal on those types of tackles, and we made some good advancements around not tackling in certain areas, the real dangerous tackles, and then we went to sort of above the knee and all of that. But people are basing out and standing a lot more. It's just it's going to come up, but we've got to do better than diving in at those knees as third men, So
It's the same knee?
Yeah, it's the same knee. So I think that's the third time this year. So he just needs some time to get that done.